You
James, you want to kick us off on the...
Steve, how big a statement was that performance and result from this young team?
I think I'm really pleased for the players. I think they've worked exceptionally hard since we come together in Girona a few weeks ago, and I think we've been progressing each week, and aspects of our game have improved each week. But the players to have the tangible reward of the victory today against such a good team, that's important. I think it's also really important for the supporters. Jamie has said many times about how he wants to make the supporters feel, how he wants the supporters to enjoy it, and how bring them on the journey with us. Jamie's spoken about that, and I thought Twickenham, it was magnificent tonight. I think the supporters are left with a smile on their face as well. For us, now we'll enjoy this tonight and then ensure we're a bit better next week.
A lot of people wrote you off this week. Is it nice to prove some people wrong?
For us, we concentrate very much upon our preparation. The team's been progressing, and the team's progressed each week and a step forward. Now, sometimes it's really visible and everybody sees it and everybody talks about it, and sometimes it's not as visible. Sometimes it's not as overt, but the team's been progressing, and that's been the message we've been talking about. Keep moving forward, and that's what we'll continue to do. We know we've got a long way to go as a team. We're 4 games in, and but on this journey, this is another step in the right direction.
Is that the best performance since you've taken charge?
I think right now, I said this earlier in the week, there's been a couple of phases. One was in the first period was getting a team ready to try and win the World Cup, and now we're 4 games into trying to build a new team and a new way, and I've talked about the evolution of the team, and this is an important step in the evolution of the team, but that's what it is. It's a step. Now we need to take another step next week.
You and Andy Farrell exchanged a few words in the tunnel at half time. Everything okay then?
Absolutely fine. Andy and I have known each other for a long time. We played alongside each other for England, and both represented England at the 2007 World Cup, so we go back a long way. And what he has done with that Ireland team is just incredible, very special. They are an incredible team, and I thought today was a very special Test match.
Are you able to share what it was about?
No, it's between Andy and I. There's no. I know people want to read into things like that. I think Andy and I have a good relationship. We were co-captains together at Saracens as players. We coached together on the Lions in 2017, and I have incredible respect for him and what he has done with that team, which is as I say, a phenomenal team.
Jamie, you guys have said this performance is coming. How pleased are you that it has come, and how proud are you of the guys?
Oh, I'm so proud. I think it's probably one of the most emotional and proud days of my career for sure. I think the reason for that is because there were a lot of doubters after that Scotland performance, and probably rightly so. But at the same time, internally, we didn't listen to the noise outside of what we knew was important. And for us to go out there and do that to a team like Ireland, who, for me, are the best team in the world at the minute, that was a really, really special day. And we spoke a lot about making Twickenham a really tough place to come and play, and I thought we did that today.
You got a lot of flack after Murrayfield. Did you feel some of it was unfair?
Look, I just think we went there to win. I think whenever you play for the England rugby team, if you don't win, you cop flack. I think that's just the way it is. What I was most pleased about was the way that we got together, made sure that we were very clear about how we needed to move forward, and I think you saw a lot of the steps today. I think there's still a lot to come. It wasn't the perfect performance by any means, but there was probably a lot of criticism around our attack, and to go up against Ireland and score 3 tries is not many teams do that.
Thank you.
James, Jody,
when you look at Holland over Six Nations, their set piece and the chaos around the breakdown that they create has been absolutely outstanding. But you basically beat them at their own game today. Was there a great focus in that chaos? And also as part of that, just talk about what George Martin brings just in sheer oomph to your breakdown.
Years at uni for oomph, is it? What a lovely word that. That is George Martin in a nutshell. No, look, I think, we were very clear around, how Ireland are a fantastic team. Like you said, they make a mess of the breakdown, but also their set piece is very, very strong. I think you've seen that in their performances, not just this Six Nations in the World Cup and previous to that. So we had a great plan. Line-out gurus had a great plan around what we wanted to go and get after. I thought we scrummed well today. But whenever you play against Ireland, there is an increased focus around being really tight and assured at the breakdown. I thought we were that. The way that George Martin came into the team today, having not played a huge amount of rugby over the last few weeks and belted people, he led the way in that respect. And he's a man of few words, but when he goes out there and performs like that, he's a real leader in this team.
And Alex mentioned he was an incredible ability to feed off scraps, clear up scrappy ball and so on. He really brought some another dimension to the attack today. Yeah,
he's just a real high quality, world class player in my eyes, and he's as sharp as there is around the breakdown. And we wanted to try and move the ball fast today. We've spoken about how we want to try and move the ball a little bit more in attack, and I thought that he was at the heart of that. Him and George and Marcus coming on at the end were really fantastic in that area.
So if you wanted to entertain, you could do it.
I'd say the noise at the end probably says yes.
Nick, then Will.
Steve, 3 wins now in Six Nations with the possibility before. That's in sheer numbers a step forward from the last few years. How important is that? I understand what you're talking about, the sections of what you did for the World Cup and a fresh start. But how important is that in terms of building momentum and kind of creating some confidence in
I think the thing that pleased me the most was post the defeat in Scotland, when I've seen teams get pulled in all kinds of different directions. In the past, I saw that in my time as a player here. I've seen it in my time as an assistant coach here. And what pleased me the most is that the players stayed absolutely true to the path we're trying to follow and tried to take the next step of progress. And they applied themselves to it. We asked them again to do things a little bit differently, and they did that. And led by the man next to me, that takes a lot of courage to try and do things a bit differently. And they've done that, and we'll do that again this week. I want an improved performance next week against France. We'll be watching their game tomorrow with keen interest. They made a few changes in their team, and going down to Lyon to play the game. So it's a different challenge as well, and not been there. And I think it promises to be a real formidable test match. Hopefully another great test match like today.
How are you fixed for on the injury front?
Yeah, I haven't had a medical report. Slady took a bang in Scotland and worked really hard to recover from it, and took a knock today. I don't know whether it's related, but so that's why he came off. Chandler looks like he's injured his calf. I don't know how bad, but it certainly didn't look like it's one that's going to turn around in a week. But I have no idea how bad that is. And I think okay. I think he made that tackle in the first half and took a bit of a stinger, but I don't think it's anything worse than that. I say I haven't had a full medical report.
And just on Marcus Smith, obviously landing that drop goal, and when you talked before about wanting to build a team that will finish stronger than their starts, and a number of games, haven't there, where you've chased the result, you've managed to get it. Everything that went, not just that kick, but everything that went into how the way the players kind of managed the last few minutes.
I'll say 3 things. One, the intensity that the players had from the first minute to the last minute. I thought that was a step forward, and I think that's going to become something that's a hallmark, trademark of this team. The intensity with which they play. The second thing, tactically in the middle of the game, Ireland adjusted what they did tactically in the middle of the game. that middle third, and the players needed to attend to that on the grass, and they did that really, really well. They had to change a little bit how we'd intended to play. It was a different type of game from Ireland. It was very smart by them what they then did, and it needed a big adjustment for our team, led by Jamie. And the third thing then, I don't know, I've used this expression a good number of times, is finding a way to win. And this is a test rugby. You'll find a way to win. We'll improve as a team. We'll be better as a team. But fundamentally, then finding yourself in situations where you've got to come through them and find a way to win, that's important. And the team did that again tonight.
Okay, Will, then David.
Jamie, can you just talk us through the bedlam of that last few minutes? You seem to enjoy it. There's a good clip of you going spare at the end. Can you talk us through how it went for you?
I don't like watching. But I was in awe of the boys on the field, like the composure they showed, but also going out there to attack the game, going out there to win the game. There were a couple of times there where we had a knock on, they kicked the ball out. We didn't panic at any stage, and I have to admit it was a bit emotional at the end because of everything that's gone on. But I think the most important thing was I was just so proud of the players on the field. The way they applied themselves, it was never in doubt, I suppose.
Have you felt like the way you started and the way that intensity that Steve talked about, is that something you haven't felt maybe since the New Zealand semi of 19, the way that you kind of played flat and fast and brought that intensity right from the start?
I think there've probably been games since that where we have tried to move the ball, and I think are you talking about the attack in particular?
Yeah, or just the intensity around the whole thing. It seemed like you really came out.
I think we've played at a good intensity since 2019, but I understand what you're trying to say. I think that is what we've been trying to do. That is what we endeavour to do. That is the sort of team that we want to be, and the way that we went out there and had the courage, like Steve said, to keep trusting in the plan and executing the plan. And when you've got special players like Marcus Smith and Manny Feo-Boso and all those other guys, special things will happen. And it was a really pleasing result.
Just how much belief will that give you? There's quite a young team on field right at the end to get that job done against, you were calling the best team in the world in the week.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I think it can really bring the team together. I think we've had a huge amount of belief in what we're doing and how we're trying to play the game, but I think that almost gives us even more confidence to go out and do that. And like I said, we weren't perfect by any means, but we're going to look to be better again going against France in France. We know how tough that's going to be, and but it's an exciting opportunity for us to go and do that, and I think it's important for us to celebrate tonight, and then all focus will go to France on tomorrow afternoon.
Last one from you, David.
Steve, forgive my ignorance on this, but you mentioned Ireland doing something different and your team having to react on the hoop or on the grass to it. What did Ireland do differently that they haven't done in previous games, and what did you do to capture it?
So Ireland's attack has been phenomenal. I think I said this earlier in the week. The way they get out of their half, using particularly James Lowe, is really effective. I think secondly, I said then about the pressure they put on your ball with the breakdown, their jackal, their blast. It's excellent. What they do, choke tackle, it's different every time. And the third area I talked about was their attack, and I talked about how they've got a great passing game, make very few handling errors, create lots of one-on-ones, and play a great phase attack. And what I saw is they started kicking a bit less off James Lowe, started kicking a bit more off 9, started playing less phase, started going more contestable kicking. And so the middle of the game became a bit more like an arm wrestle. And ultimately, the two of their tries came from a situation similar where a kick from 9 to then either a miss by us or then us giving a penalty away at the next ensuing breakdown led to situations for them to score 2 tries. I thought it was really smart what they did, and our guys on the pitch just adjusted, had to deal with it. So the game changed from what it looked like in the first 20 to what it looked like then from about 25 to 55. It was a different type of game then.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.